What's going on, you guys? It's GKey here, back with a new video. I'm going to start posting these kind of videos more consistently. I just think we're filming these more, and I feel like they add more value to people than just, posting a beat or whatever. So if this video helps you, please feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends. It means a lot to me. Yeah, without further ado, I'm going to get into this video. The video I'm doing today is 5 tips that are going to help your drums, or to help your beat hit harder. Because a lot of the times, you'll play the loop, and then the beat will just drop. And in my opinion, that works a good bit of times. If you really want a beat to stand out, you have drop hitting hard. I'm gonna teach you guys some tricks. So the first thing I'm gonna go over in this, I think it's the most important, is making sure your beats mix right. Make sure your kick and 808 are mixed right. Here's what mine sound like together so you guys can get an idea. I'll explain to you what I did. So first things first, guys, they are both in mono. This is a very important thing you'll hear from a lot of producers if you haven't already. Having these, because you want your sub bass and your low end to come out of the center. You don't want it to be colliding with the side frequencies at all. So having it in mono is just going to help clean up the mix completely. This goes to any form of mixing. Like this could go for mixing rock and roll, like pop music, anything like that. They're going to have their kicks centered towards the middle, and drums in general centered to the middle. There's some variations. I like keep my snares out more. That's just my personal preference of it. And a lot of it is your personal preference, but for your low end, you should do some of these things. And I EQ my kick, my 808 at 30. Then I check for frequencies, take them out if they're not good frequencies. For my kick, I cut it out at 50. Have a little boost right there, and then we add a soft clipper to it to give it that extra oomph without clipping. And that's how you do your low end. And other than that, it's about leveling. For my other drums, I generally let slides. I'll take out the low end of most of them too. But also, further mention, I add a side chain onto my kick and 808. And to do this, all I do is, this is my kick, this is my kick right here. I'm gonna label real quick, kick. Here's my 808. Okay, so what I do is I just go to right here, I go on my kick, I right click right here. You literally right click like this, and then you click side chain to this track, but you actually do it on the 808. I already did it, so I can't really click it again. But, so you side chain it, you add a limiter on here. And see, if I lower this, look what it does. You can hear it's really side chain, like the 808s waits for the whole entire kick to finish, then comes in. And it doesn't sound good, so you gotta find a happy balance. You can hear it's slight ducking, but it's not, on killing the 808. So that's pretty much my first tip right there, is making sure your kick and 808 are mixed right. And you want your 808, I do a little louder than my melody. Some people will generally say as loud as your melody. I like it to hit a little harder. It might be hard to hear if you're on a phone, so you might not be able to even hear it on there. And then another plugin, if you guys follow Lifestyle Did It, he recommended this. I saw this on one of his videos, is this Fuzz Plus 3 plugin. This lets you distort your 808 a little bit, so without it, with it, out it. You can hear it's giving it the distortion. It's giving it a crisp distortion to it. I'm not going too crazy with it. You can get insane with this thing. If you listen to it as soon as you put it on your 808, it sounds absurd. It's way too much, but it's sick anyway. So that's my first tip for you guys, is make sure that your kick and 808 are mixed right, because if they're not mixed right, your drop's never gonna hit right. Okay, so for my second effect is have impacts. I have a very little impact right here. It's this this sound. Little things like that throughout the beat are gonna have it's gonna pull energy into it. So I'm gonna show you right here especially. I'm gonna play this a little bit. You can hear what I'm talking about. So without it, with it, it gives that whipping effect. And this is, like I said at the beginning, you can do the same thing with it. So oh, sorry, hold on, I'll play the beat for you. So you can just hear, I can add another one too to even give it more power. Like, I'm going to actually show you what I mean real quick with this, just so you can really hear how powerful you can make these. These are probably honestly one of the most cool things you can add to your beat that people don't do enough of, that really just give it a lot of life. And what I'm going to do is add this impact. I got this from the Cashmere pack. I produce a good bit of EDM too, so this is like an EDM type pack, but it works really good for trap. So we'll turn that out down because we don't want the sound carrying, and we'll put it to a mixer. I have this grow speed on it, so it's give us like it stops, so I don't have it at the right time. So play it right here. Hold up. Let's turn this down a little bit. Let's mix it. Let's take out the low end of it. GKey with the hits. And you can just hear how sick that is. Like you can just like, you know what I mean? Like listen. Much like imagine this. Take both these off. GKey with the hits, boy. Good, right? But it's not like crazy. Like, you can just feel it. Like that's a very important thing, is having these. You can do them with risers. So I don't have a riser in this one. I can add a riser real quick. Risers and like those impacts are really gonna help. Something like that could work. I don't like it. Like I said, this beat's not the beat for it. It's not like crazy. This is more of like a little baby type Gunna or something type beat. But that just doesn't fit well there. So yeah, those effects are really gonna help make your what is it? Beat hit harder. The next trick I have is switch up your melody on the drop. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So this is a different style of beat, so I didn't do it on this one particularly, but this works well, you know, for a lot of beats actually. What you could do is, say you're in your channel rack. This is a sample I got, by the way, but say you're in your channel rack and, you know, you're making your melodies and you have like 3 different melodies. You start off with your slower one, or, you know, your more laid back one. And then then you can dump the second one on top. Kind of like how I do here, but I kind of do it 1 bar later. So I'll show you what I mean. So like, here we have the guitar, and then here we have the, and so like you can hear in the beat what I'm talking about. So right around this area it's gonna come in. So that is the third way, is using like other melodies, using your more higher energy melodies when the drop hits, and or in your second bar or something after. Like you can just kind of like, you know, drop with your one and then bring it in later to give it that diversity and stuff that you want to have, because you don't want the same thing throughout. Okay, so that's our third step, boys. Our fourth step is going to be effects. Another thing, like I said, I should have probably included this in a beat that I did more effects with and had, you know, stuff like that, but I still kind of do it here a little bit with this gross beat and everything, but I'm going to go more in detail with it. So this gross beat, you can hear, I'm going to mute this out. You can hear, listen to what happens to the guitar as it goes up. It kind of like reverses it. And then right here, you can hear it's kind of dying out. So it's kind of slowing it down near the end, so it's lowering the volume. I wouldn't recommend necessarily always lowering the volume. If you do, you can always go 3 decibels lower by creating an automation clip right here and doing that. I don't do that too much, but it is a way to do it. But yeah, this, like I said, effects. Another one you can add is something like a half step. I'm gonna do one real quick for you. I'm gonna add one in here. All you do, go to gross beat, click over to half bit gate, lower your volume the whole way, create the automation clip, and as it's coming, we'll put it like, we can do one, or we'll do like right here, and I'll show you what this sounds like. GKey with the hits. can hear that little stutter, that brief little stutter. You can even do one earlier if you want it to hold out longer.
GKey with that hits, boy.
Shots not one, like I said, I'm not really phone at this beat. Jesus. But yeah, that's another effect you guys can add. There's a lot of different effects. A couple I like to use is that one. Basic 7 is really good in gross beat because let's see. Basic 7 is this one. I use it somewhere else in the beat. What this is this little down pitch will have it kind of like slow down, almost like halftime it in a way. It's like a halftime right before the drop. And it happens quick, but it still happens like very, very smoothly. So that's my 4th tip for you guys. And my 5th and final tip is removing all bass from your intro. So I'm gonna removing bass as you go up, as you get closer to the drop. Because in your intro, sometimes you want that can have a really cool effect, but before it hits, you want to take it out. And I'm gonna walk you through this step too. So like this one, you can see this is my guitar. There is some right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create an animation clip. Just start it the whole way over down there, and then we are going to move it over to about 250s, where I recommend for the drop, or for it to move up to. You can even go up to 300 because it's not even coming in on the drop. So we'll copy this value actually. Move it back over. We have the automation clip made. And so now we have our EQ on this one right here. So like right around here is I want to start bringing it up. And I'm going to paste it right about there. And what's going to happen is you're going to hear the bass is slowly going to start cutting out. So what? As this goes up, this is going to move up with it. And you can kind of do that like a little bit more extreme if you want. So I'll show you with it real quick. I'll just play the whole beat with it. You can hear it.
GKey with that hits, boy.
Oh, I'm sorry. For to lower it back down. Like I said, you can hear the power that impact has, even without even switching the melody up and just keeping the same repetitive melody. It literally sounds like a whole different beat. But you guys, I think that's about it for this video. Those are the 5 tips I recommend. So if I can try to remember if I remember all of them here, let's see. First tip you're gonna have is make sure you mix your kick and your 808 correctly. I'm gonna make another complete mixing video on how to do that more. But make sure your kick and 808 are completely mixed, because if they're not mixed, regardless of any of these other steps I tell you, it's not going to sound right. So yeah, super, super important. Second step, using suspenses, like using sounds such as and before your drop or during your drop. And then that coupled along with some risers, you can even use a reverse crash. I'll show you what a crash is, like this. Take it out of the playlist. You hit revert. You literally go here, grab it, click, reverse. This is the same thing as like a sweep up, like a white noise sweep up, pretty much. So you can do that reverse crash into the drop too. That works. Yeah. So other than that, that's about it for the second step. Our third step, I believe, was switching your melodies up. So, like I said, not in this beat, just because this is a different kind of beat, but some beats, you introduce it, like, and then you would come in instantly with the new melody if you wanted to do that. Because this beat was a little different, so I don't want to do that. And then the 5th and final step was using EQing to cut out your low end before the drop. Like I said, this is when you're not going to have more trouble hearing. This is when you're going to, like, if you listen on a car or something, you'll definitely be able to hear the difference. Because you just won't hear any bass, and the bass will just hit very hard. Yeah, so that's pretty much my 5th step there for that. So if this video helped you in any way, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends if you think it will help them. You guys can follow me on Instagram at IamGKey. and Facebook. If you guys have any questions, shoot me a DM on there or right in the comments. But other than that, guys, we'll see you in the next one. Peace.